This segment deals with the neuron. Neurons are nerve cells that are specialized for intercellular communication. Neurons have a variety of shapes. A multipolar neuron is the most common type of neuron found in the central nervous system. Each multipolar neuron has a large cell body, several short branch dendrites, and a single long axon ending in terminal branches called telodendria. The cell body, also called soma, contains a large round nucleus with a prominent nucleolus. The cytoplasm surrounding the nucleus is the perikaryon. The cytoskeleton of the perikaryon contains structures similar to the filaments and microtubules of other types of cells. The perikaryon also contains mitochondria, used to make ATP to meet the high demands of the active neuron. Ribosomes and rough endoplasmic reticulum are also found in the perikaryon, and they help produce proteins. The rough endoplasmic reticulum and the ribosomes cluster together, and these regions are called Nissl bodies, which give the neuron cell bodies a gray color, referring to the gray matter that is seen in dissection of the brain and spinal cord. Most cells don't have centrioles, the organelles needed for the formation of the spindle apparatus in mitosis. Therefore, neurons can't divide. Therefore, if a neuron is lost to injury or disease, it can't be replaced. The slender extensions off the cell body are called dendrites. Dendrites receive information from other neurons. The axon is a long process off the cell body that is capable of propagating an electrical impulse known as an action potential. The cytoplasm of the axon is called the axoplasm, and the plasma membrane of the axon is called the Axon Lemma. The Axon Lemma is a specialized portion of the plasma membrane. In a multipolar neuron, the axon has a thickened region close to the cell body called the axon hillock. The axon hillock leads to the base of the axon, or the initial segment. An axon may branch along its length, producing side branches called collaterals. Collaterals enable a single neuron to communicate with several cells. The main axon and the collaterals may end in a series of fine extensions called telodendria, or terminal branches. These telodendria end at the synaptic terminals, also called synaptic knobs. The synaptic terminal is part of a synapse, which is a specialized site where the neuron communicates with another cell. Each synapse involves two cells: the presynaptic cell, which is the cell that sends a message and includes its synaptic terminal, and the postsynaptic cell, which is the cell that receives the message. The space in between the synaptic terminal of the presynaptic cell and the postsynaptic cell is called the synaptic cleft. Chemicals contained in vesicles in the synaptic terminals will be released via exocytosis into the synaptic cleft. This release is triggered by an action potential traveling down the axon of the presynaptic cell. The postsynaptic cell can be another neuron, or it can be another type of cell. One neuron may communicate with another at a synapse on a dendrite, on the cell body, or along the length of the axon of the receiving cell. A synapse between a neuron and a muscle cell is called a neuromuscular junction, as we saw when studying muscle tissue. Neurons may also innervate, or are distributed to, a variety of other cell types such as glands and adipocytes. The postsynaptic cell contains receptors for the neurotransmitters. The neurotransmitters bind to these receptors. The synaptic terminal at a neuromuscular junction is more complex than between two neurons.